Turn on. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Guys, I'm so sorry. No sound, no sound. Finally, they're telling me no sound. Let me back this up. I just been going and going and going with no sound. All right. There's the 8 o'clock advisory. Thank goodness you can hear me now. Zero audio. It's coming, babe. Hang on. It'll catch up. There you go. Mic is on now. Here's the 8 o'clock advisory. If you're just now able to hear me, I've just been babbling for the last 2 or 3 minutes about the wind speed. Wind speeds have increased since 5 o'clock to 60 miles per hour. Last time we checked in at 5, we had wind speeds of 45. So the wind speeds have jumped 15. Pressure's dropped down to 991 millibars. It's strengthening. And right around the bottom side of it, right in there where the tropical storm icon is on your screen, on the bottom side here, hey, Tiffany. Yeah, you can hear me now. Perfect. Can you hear me now? Okay. On the bottom side of this center, right in here, you see the deep convection beginning to show up all day long. The big convection's been north of Cuba, not anymore. That particular side of the feeder band, or what wants to wrap in as a feeder band, has kind of died out. But the southern side of what would be the eye has really started to rock and roll. It's picked up the tempo. Not a great look if you want it to die, which we all do, but it's not going to die. Wind speed 60 miles per hour, pressure 991 millibars, movement still to the northwest at 12. If it could speed up, it would outrun itself, but a good 12, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, even 8 to 15 mile per hour forward progress is a good forward progress for the storm to maintain its momentum. If it were racing along at like 25 miles per hour, 30, it'd be all cattywampus, tilting, leaning. That's not what's going on. It's pretty steady as she goes. And by this time tomorrow, it'll be a Category 1, almost a Category 2 storm as it approaches western Cuba with a storm surge that could be way up there. They could be big-time damaging storm surge in Cuba. Then it crosses western Cuba, the tip there. Might diminish for a moment, but should become a Category 3 storm as it makes it to the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, in the Gulf, we're talking about water all the way from south there. Right now, it's about 120 to 160 miles south of Grand Cayman. All of that water is super warm. They've not had a storm come through there yet. So it hasn't been stirred up at all, has not been disturbed. So it's hot at the top and warm pretty deep. Normally, you get hot water at the top, you beat it up a little bit, and some of that cold water upwelling can come up. That has not happened in the Gulf so far this season, so it's going to be super warm. It's like Popeye eating spinach is all I can tell you, because by Tuesday into Wednesday, the National Hurricane Center has this thing progged. The models push it to a Category 4 status. Major, monster, Category 4 storm off the Gulf Coast of Florida. So, by the time it makes landfall, we'll roll this one more time and try to come in a little closer. By the time it makes landfall, it will be under the influence of some shear from the western side, some weakening. It should be down to Category 2 status. Keep in mind, the models do a fantastic job of the track and a pretty, I wouldn't say awful, but a much weaker job of maintaining the idea of how much it's going to strengthen. We don't do a great job of the strength. But when the models are telling you it goes to a Category 3 or Category 4, you really have to pay attention. So that's what we're going to have. And there's the track landing just west of Cedar Key, or right on top of Cedar Key. Last night at this time, this envelope of models that you're seeing here, they had all jogged to the west. Today, they've jogged back to the east a bit. And my favorite model is this one right here. What'd you call that? Beige, the color code for the TVCon, TVCN. That's my favorite model. It's an ensemble model. It uses the best of the best, and I think it does better at forecasting than anything. So for now, that's the reason that track is going to jog farther back to the east, or has peeled a little farther back to the east. So everyone within the sound of my voice in Central Florida, don't sleep on this storm. I know a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, it's going west. It is not going west. We have nothing to make us believe it's going to go farther west. The model package is either stationary or coming back to the east just a bit. So you had a good weekend to get ready. Hope you did your preps. If not, a decent day tomorrow is still coming for you to do your hurricane preps. Just know the TVCon brings it scarily close to making landfall in Tampa and rocking just to the west of Marion County as we go into Thursday night and Friday morning. Steering patterns are going to be determined by the ridge of high pressure to the east and the trothiness to the north. That little dip, little frontal boundary, is going to create just enough of a dip in the jet stream there that it pulls this thing to the north. How strong and how fast is the trough? That's the question. The modeling is beginning to believe it's going to suck it almost straight up along the western side of our state. We'd love for it, wishing against wish. When I say I'd love for it to go farther west, you're just using prayer against prayer for the folks in Mobile and New Orleans. They obviously want nothing to do with it, and I get that. And so I sit here and say, wow, go west, go west. But then, you don't want to hope or wish anything on anyone else. So the longer it takes that trough to develop, the farther to the west the storm goes. But now it looks like it's going to be kind of a blend. It'll go just west of the coast side into all the warm waters of the Gulf and increase its strength. So here's that 8 p.m. advisory again in a different pattern. 160 miles south of Grand Cayman. 991 millibars, winds are 60 miles per hour. The breakdown looks like this. It is becoming better organized. Expect it to strengthen more and rapidly intensify once we get past this time tomorrow. Impacts will become more evident to us tomorrow. We'll have a better idea on the track and a better handle on where it's going exactly. And we'll start breaking out county by county impacts. Let's just be well heard. Anytime any low is in the Gulf of Mexico, things get wicked around here. Things get crazy. They do, even in the wintertime. If there's a pocket of low pressure in the Gulf, we start having crazy, crazy weather on the peninsula of Florida. And if that ugly-looking storm gets into the Gulf, and now it looks like it will, if it deepens to a Category 4, feeder bands rolling across our state Wednesday, Thursday, and maybe even as late as Friday morning. It'll be a tough weather day. That's all I'll say for now, because we'll have to wait and see how close we really believe it's going to come along the coast on the forecast for tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. It's 8:22. We've been on since about 8:10 or so. What will the pressure, what did I say? Less than the strength. Yeah, well, yeah, Jacob, that's what's going to do it. The wind shear is going to knock it down. It's just, I hope the public restocks. We'll get plenty of water. Nervous here in Lake County. Irma's still fresh in my mind, as it should be. As it should be, Arlene. All right, I'm going to get off of here. I'll try to come back and answer your questions later. Hugs to you, Tiffany. Yes, everyone. Ocala, yes, Ocala should be on guard, Patricia. On this path to projected movement, you would be on the dirty side there in Marion County, and there would be damage for days. You've never had the storm this strong drill in there in a long time. It would be ugly. Ugly, ugly, ugly damage, canopy damage all over. Hard to say what the pressure will be in Orlando, Melissa. Thank you, Michael, for wishing everyone the best. Okay, beige, salmon colored, whatever you want to call it. That's the TV con. Just keep up with it. You stay safe too, my friend. All right, I'm going to log off here and get back to doing my job. Samara will be on at 10 o'clock with an update on TV. I'll be back here at 10:30 right here on clickorlando.com. I don't think we'll have the new advisory, the 11 o'clock advisory. Probably will come out about 5 or 10 till 11. So I'll come back at 10:30 and give you a little more updates on what's going on. And I will see you tonight at 11 on the powerful KMG. We're actually going on, I want to say, just a tad bit late, like about 11:07, because the football game ran over about 7 minutes. So we'll be around into the evening. Thanks for checking